We go through the deliverables for each year, and some of the information that's brought to us by the board members in the region, some of the problems that they may be having, some of the success stories that they have, and you've got to remember APAC's there to help out all the regions and areas. So if you do need something in your region, make sure you let the board members know so they can bring it, and we can see if we can help you in the board. The community risk project we've got is community risk assessments. We've got a start in Quebec. Alberta has done a couple now. In Saskatchewan, we're looking to do some. In other provinces, we're looking to do an assessment of risk in our community so that we know where to bring the issues to the federal government to try to get you in the fire service what you need to protect your communities and people in your communities. We've been working on a First Nation fire marshal. We've got a project now. We've been asked by the Provincial Fire Marshals and Fire Commissioners Association to. They've basically told us we have a chair at our table for you. So we've been working on a project to try to get a federal fire marshal or fire commissioner that's going to look after our First Nations in Canada. In the past, we've had what was called the Dominion Office of the Fire Commissioner, but they were more there to provide services to federal buildings, RCMP and the post office and that type of thing. And I don't think we ever saw them set foot on First Nation, but they kind of had that lump into their deliverables. What we're looking for is someone to speak on behalf of the firefighters and the community guards, the fire and fire safety. So that's something that we're working on now. It's a project we haven't really been established. We've identified the need, and now we're in talks with INAC about that, as well as the Canadian Association of Fire Chiefs and the Fire Marshals and Fire Chiefs Association, the provincial association. Website and social media. Blaine's been working on that, or executive director's been working on that for quite some time. I'm in on that, Blaine. Any updates on the website, social media?
Yeah, so we've done a few things this year. One of the things we did is implemented a bilingual website. So it is fully bilingual. We actually have a translator available to us on contract. So as we update our website and our different programs that we send out, the National Poster Contest, we'll be doing them in 2 official languages. We're going to start a more progressive campaign this fall using some software that will help us manage multiple social media sites, not just our Facebook site and our website, but Twitter. We had some really good conversations yesterday in our strategy meeting around shorter PSAs. I want to thank Scott for the work that he's done with Indigenous Northern Affairs on some of the video vignettes, and that's Scott's idea. I'll give him all the credit there. So we'll probably use some other type of, I'm not techno savvy like the kids, so I can't throw all the cool terms, but shorter video clips, for fire safety, little things like 30-second clips on how to do chimney sweeping, that sort of thing. So. And some seasonal safety campaign, and start using some lower tech mediums to do that. So if you have any ideas, some of you guys are much more savvy than us gray hair guys up here, but if you have any ideas, please throw them forward, and we'll be happy to engage. And if your regions are doing something neat and you'd like to share with us, please do. I know up in Nunavut, Barry and his gang, they've been doing some really, really cool stuff. and it'd be nice to kind of share some of that stuff out. We're this year for the first time we'll be sending out a calendar, an 18-month calendar that we did with the poster contest. Again, we're how many years you guys have been doing that? Long time.
Long time.
Yeah. So we're catching up.
It's 2005.
Yeah, so, well, 12 years, you know, well, it took 12 years to catch up. So that'll be part of the National Poster Contest mail out. Again, one of the things we really encourage when you guys are back in your communities, really nudge the kids to get involved in the multimedia campaigns. We're really pushing technology. For those that don't know, as part of our National Poster Contest, we've got our Poster Contest winner here from Alberta. She's out touring the community with her mother right now. She won based on a multimedia presentation. The winners for each category from APAC and Indigenous Affairs, we actually present the schools with a computer, and pretty much, we've kind of gone away from, pretty much every winner was awarded some type of technology device, iPads, that sort of things. iPads or computers or laptops. We're really pushing getting technology in the hands of our young kids and getting them to use it for fire prevention. And fire prevention is our future as firefighters. It's not putting fires out. That's the last line of defense. Let's figure out how to prevent fire. So, and even on that, we've got a presentation a little bit later about next year, and we're already, before we've even left here, we're already starting to plan some of the training for next year for the nationals and some of the fire prevention. So again, if you guys have ideas about, say you want us to bring in a technology person to train the firefighters on how to use little clips and bits to do technology and stuff for your fire departments. It's a good thing. So anyway, talk forever about fire prevention, but keep the show going.
Hey, thanks, Blaine. Number 11's report of the committees, the National Fire Competition Subcommittee. The people that were on that committee was there was Leon that was on that committee, and Ryan, yeah, and Doyle. We don't have them here right now. Emerson?
Yeah, you volunteered this
morning.
Oh.
Yes, we have volunteers.
So, Emerson, do you want to speak about what your plans are for the competition subcommittee?
No, we can't do that, dude.
Yeah. Oh, no, we can do that. Emerson's looking for volunteers, so.
What we're going to have, if you would like to volunteer for the subcommittee, by the way, you don't have to be sitting on the board or part of the executive to do that. If you want to sit on one of our subcommittees, you're more than welcome to. We look forward to your help. So, and it's to make the fire competitions better, to make them more justifiable, that they're going to benefit you as firefighters in your communities. So we're going to be discussing some of the events. We have one in there is fire extinguishment. For that, we don't like to. I think we're probably going to have to take that out because of environmental issues. We can't mix gasoline and diesel and do fuel fire extinguishment. We've got environmental issues that we've got to look at. So some of the evolutions we're going to look into. Some of the rules and regulations we're going to have to look into. We want to make sure that all the firefighters are attending. We see some of them are here right now. And so we're going to have to look through some of the fire competition rules and regulations, and we want your feedback. This isn't something that we want to sit here as a board and do. We'll run by you people out there, you firefighters, and you basically tell us what you want to see happen. So we're here at your pleasure. All right. Emerson, did you want to call for volunteers right now to help out? Sure.
I'd be happy to spearhead this initiative and look forward to working with anybody that wants to put some time in to volunteer. If anybody wants to put up their hand and meet me after the AGM here.
Can you explain more on what the volunteer for what?
Basically, I'll help Emerson out. So basically, we have subcommittees of the board that instead of literally the board going in closed doors and making decisions, is we want to be transparent, we want input on how the nationals are run, and it's basically including, the manual, the evolutions that we use, recommendations for training, anything related to the nationals. And it basically we'll have somebody who will chair the discussion. It'll be done basically, most of the work will be done by teleconference, so you might have a couple, maybe 2 or 3 meetings over the next year. And so putting that recommendations forward, and then we'll synthesize the work and make the changes. That's it.
If you've ever looked through the evolution manual and you read and you go, oh, that doesn't make sense. Why did they do, if you've ever done that, put your name forward, because now you can actually tell the subcommittee, I think this should be changed and here's why. And then that subcommittee will bring that to the board and we will follow up on the recommendations. So if you've ever done that, reading the manual and say, this doesn't make any sense, this should be changed here. Now's the perfect opportunity to put your name forward and help out with that. This isn't coming from the board, this should be coming from the firefighters. Right down to how the points are scored and everything else. If you have recommendations, get on the committee and let us know. I'll put my name down. So actually, right after the meeting, if you just want to see Emerson and give him your coordinates, how you can be reached, your name, we'll get you on the committee.
I've got my business card here too for whoever I talk with.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, consideration of financial statements, 2014, 2015.
We're in Burr because we have our financial audit done. The copy, the electronic copy that we brought, we didn't realize it had draft on it, so we're just going to defer that, and we will post those on our website. But I can report that our audit was successful. There was no adverse comment. We really are very proud that we are a very transparent organization. The only thing that we don't disclose is our contract negotiations with INAC each year. There's a lot of confidential dialogue that goes back and forth. Once we have our agreement in place, that's for all to see. And how we get to those agreements, obviously, we have an obligation to maintain some confidentiality about that. We're happy to share any information. We've worked a lot with regional organizations to help them write their funding proposals for various projects, and we do that at no cost. Many of the regions have, the last year, Manitoba, their funding agreement to run their regionals, we help them off of that. So again, it's so far we're 100% success rate on helping other organizations. Whatever we've helped off, they've got the funds for it. So not so much for ourselves, but so if you guys got a project you want to come and bring it to us, you get pretty good odds.
Yeah, and just go to your regional representative, bring the issue up, and bring it to the table and see what we can do. Everybody sitting at, all the board members sitting at this table, we don't get paid for our services, by the way. We don't get honorariums or anything like that. We do it on a volunteer basis. So, it's basically the budget we've been working with for years. And as you know, we discussed this earlier, flights are getting more expensive. We're managing because we're doing mass bookings early for your flights, and that's a big, that's one of our biggest budget items is the flights to get everybody here now. We've managed to kind of keep them down by doing it early and booking for deals, and so any money that's coming in, it's all going back out. It's all been approved by INAC and their treasury board, very strict and stringent. So we're managing to do quite a bit of work with a little bit of money that we get. And every year we're hoping to get a little more. And when we get feedback from you as firefighters in your community on something that you would like to see happen, And if there's something that we can do to help put a proposal in on your behalf, that's what we're here for. So if you find something, talk to your regional representative, they can bring it to us and we'll see if there's any way that we can help you get what you need from your region or from Ottawa. If that's the case. Okay, special resolution, there's no notice of special resolutions. New business, the 2017 National Fire Competition submission. Where have we got that from? Now,
Verbal presentation.
verbal,
With a letter of support.
A letter of support from my chief and stating that they're willing to entertain the national. Oh, I'm Jason Moulton, Quebec Fire Department. I'm the fire chief there. And putting a proposal in for to host the national for next year. And they asked me to get a letter of support from the chief and council that are here. And just presented it to the board here to hopefully get it approved.
What region?
What's that?
What region?
The Atlantic province. So I don't know if you want this letter or.
Yeah, so is that you? This highlights your, the point on your proposal.
Okay, I briefly met with Blaine and went over some, like the airport is roughly 2 hours away from where we live. And staying up in Grand Falls, New Brunswick, it's roughly a half hour from the reserve. We have transportation for the bus, everybody back and forth to from Grand Falls to the reserve and back. Bus from the reserve to Grand Falls to the airport. We went through, well, what's it good?
So the
Air ground and facilities. We do have a community hall on reserve where we can host training and plus have meetings for the ASAP board. I'm going to try to utilize as much as I can on the reserve to be able to keep the funding there and try to do off our reserve a little bit, I guess. Just like different events and possibly we have fall field there and stuff, and we have a couple of sites where we can have the national competition.
Yeah, I can adequately report, having done between regionals and nationals, 10 of them now. I asked him, and some of the concerns that I had initially, he's adequately addressed them all. He does have a plan. He's aware of the work that's going to take. So I certainly, from a logistical perspective, do not identify any issues that would cause any.
Well, I closed regionals back home along with Alan. I felt myself that I went pretty smooth when we did both regionals, so I feel that I could do a good job next year. Give us a host.
We get a lot of support from the office of the fire marshal also over there in the neighboring community, Grand Falls. It's part of the New Brunswick Association of Fire Chiefs. Always help in any way we need judges or timekeepers or whatnot, or even the queen. I'm sure that.
So I just have one question, Bill. You supportive of?
Not entirely. There was a discussion at the regional competition in Summerside last month on the members of the Atlantic Association, and the discussion, most of that discussion was that if the Atlantic Association would be putting forward a proposal to host the games in Cape Breton. Among the 5 Cape Breton bands are all very close to each other. And only First Nation will be the site of the competition, and the number 2 First Nation will be the site of the hotel, and they have a trade convention center in the Jason announced that this was what came out of that meeting. And when Jason mentioned this to me, I mentioned to Alan that possibly they should caucus with the association first to, have the sanction of the entire association. Pointing out also that the last, anytime that the Nationals haven't held it in the Atlantic region, they have been a couple of times, so and the Nova Scotia Fire Chiefs felt that perhaps was there. But the concern I have is possibly Jason should take your application to the association in the phone conference call and have that sanctioned by them. I can't tell them how to do their business. No. I'm not going to tell them how to do their business, but I think the other associations, especially the Nova Scotia Fire Chiefs, if they find out that it's just one who runs it, because they are preparing a presentation to send for consideration. So, this is something internal that they have to. I can't say that I fully support the Chiefs. I'm completely confident that Jason and the Toby First Nation can pull this off. They do a good job. But at the same time, with the information that the board, that the association gave at the meeting, I think there should be some further discussion to ensure that the proposal is fully sanctioned by the board.
Certainly take that under advisement. Obviously, we postponed our decision last year from the AGM to give Atlantic another 2 weeks. Then it was postponed another 2 weeks, and we never did get a proposal. So time really is of the essence to start the planning.
I thought that you guys would make a decision at the AGM. I thought that would be it. I know it's not my decision, but I mean, if they want to hold off for another 2 weeks or whatever, and whatnot, and you have a teleconference, I'll still do my homework, whatever I have to do to try to prepare for next year. I'll doing whatever I have to do.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jason, and thanks for the information. We don't want to leave anybody out, but I'm hoping by now that all the communities know to get their proposals in before the AGM, so we can bring it up at the AGM and pass a motion to adopt it or give the blessing to it. But,
And Jason was also ready last year with some biggest proposal.
yeah.
For the Atlantic region. I like to add something. I represent Quebec. I represent, we all represent our provinces. We're going to make a submission, pass it on to the rec makes the presentation of the GM. And I think it's, makes, but I sat on this table a year ago in Grandma. No offense to Heidi's not here. We postponed it for 2 weeks. And then in 2 weeks, they were supposed to give me a call because I was supposed to draft up the proposal. Nobody called me. I came down to Lisbon, waiting for their call. I would have drove up all the way to Denver and said, Billy, we're going to give you a call. I said, okay, I'll give you guys a time to your presentation. Got no call. It's, he was the regional rep, now it's out. But at the time, he made a request and it was granted. It's the same area. We're making the same request again. We're having the AGM. We give it another 2 weeks or 4 weeks. But I agree, it should come from the Association of Atlantics. But Toby, maybe he's making a submission, and there's nobody stepping up to the plate right now. I mean, we agreed to host the 2017 NFC in Toby. Let's go for it. And if number 2, that's the authority, wants to make a submission, they get a year. We come back here next year, we'll be down, for example, we told it. They want to make a submission, you want to have it in Nova Scotia, by all means, submitted.
Actually, makes me know never mind.
Because right now, I don't wanna bypass Al,
No,
but are we gonna wait another 2 to 4 weeks? That was the same argument.
Sure.
And, the only submission we get right now is voting. We should stick with it. But if member two, and Escasoni wants to make a proposal, by all means, next year we'll be here, make a presentation, or I'll make a presentation. Gladly will give the Nova Scotia a chance.
why? And I'm just wasting that,
Yeah.
what was,
But I don't wanna overstep Al's boundaries.
no.
If he's the rep for Atlantic, but in good faith, Toby Seeger. That's the only submission that we have on this table. And you want to write, Dave, we're the board of directors, we can decide on it. We can make a decision, say AGM. And I got no problems. When Toby goes to 2017. And members, if they're really into it, you gotta hear and make a proposal. Make your submission with Fred and all of them, give it to Al, or they come, or we'll be down in Grand Falls or Etobicoke. Make your presentation, no problem.
I'm got no problem with that either, I mean, it's just the board, I think, you know, and-
No, I think it,
And I'm fully confident that Toby can host my concern would be that this was the same thing by the association, and then, but,
no, I'm glad you brought that forward so that we know, because, you know, probably the rest of us here didn't know that, you know, they were thinking about it, but after having said that,
But-
they know that,
As you said,
to get it in before the AGM.
Yeah.
AGM.
you know.
What I'd like
you know,
to do-
in fairness to Jason, he's got the proposal here.
Okay, what I think I'd like to do, just before I hear, like to do is have somebody make a motion that doesn't leave it up to the board to decide. You guys are all here, you guys are our bosses. Why don't we let you people decide, you know, along with the board, we vote with you, one vote. Let you as members of the association decide what we do. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just listening, I mean, you've got a submission. I mean, if you're gonna give it to somebody else 2 weeks and then penalize him for being here on time, I don't think that's right.
No.
I would make a motion that we let him host it if he's, Blaine's confident that they've got their submission in order, then I make a motion, that's where we have the nationals next year.
Okay, perfect. Motion's been made. Anybody to second that? Seconded?
That's the next thing.
Okay, question, all in favor of the motion? Do you want to read the motion, just so that you know what?
Motion by Scott Miracles, second by Tony Blackman, and Tobago First Nation, host the 2017 National Fire Competition.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed?
Motion
Yeah, my name is George McDowell. I'm from Saskatchewan. I'm a fire chief of Fond du Lac. What I hear as the board and reps, I think that it should be like equally like when you're raising the nationals, it should be each property should be next. Like we had Ontario 2 years in a row here. We should look at BC, Saskatchewan. And those the proposals should be submitted in 3 years' time, then it'll be ready, when the voice is ready. In a time like 3 years, they should submit the application forms.
Okay, hold on, Georgie, that's the perfect time for you to sign up to that subcommittee. Yeah, no,
You say it's up west.
So traditionally, what we've done is gone east, west, central, east, west, central.
Yeah.
The reality is, and I don't know if you guys understand how big of a thank you we have to do to Rama. They stepped up literally with a couple of months left last year because we had nobody to host.
Yeah.
And so, it was, through some historical connections and begging and pleading, and I cried a little bit, and they took pity on me. And they did a great job. This year, we were not supposed to be in Ontario again. I don't want to sound like I'm picking on the Atlantic, because I'm not. We 2 years ago, we were supposed to go to the Atlantic, and we didn't. Last year, we were supposed to go to the Atlantic, and we didn't. It's because we didn't get the proposals in. So, yes, we've been in Ontario 3 of the last 4 years. We do want to move it around. It is a big chunk of work. For those, I know Ram was just catching up on her sleep for last year, and about this time next year, 6 days, catch up on her sleep. But the reality is, absolutely, we would love to see them 3 years ahead. And we'll take them.
Yeah.
We'll take them.
Like what is your policy that supports for the voice international?
We have to let them give us submissions. We can't say it's gonna be in Newfoundland, or let's say Alberta. We can't say that, because if we do and nobody submits, we're not gonna tell a community, oh, by the way, you're hosting our event. So what we try to do is east, west, central. East, west, central. And we let people know, but anybody can put a submission in, because if we don't get, preferences will be given to east, because it's their turn. So that's the preference. But if we don't get it now, we have to decide from the others that we do get. So that's how it is. But I would suggest that you do sit on that committee, because that's exactly what could be put in writing, and more, if you want to see that in writing in the evolution manuals.
Yeah, that's why I said submit your application first.
Yeah.
Before you have 3 years of competition, then it will be second, the easy. You're way behind for the Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I know they are.
Welcome back. But he was on the annual, sick, huh?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't here last week. But and we've had some movement, of course, in the board, as you can see, so we're catching up.
And if you remember, when the year we were supposed to go to BC, we were all set to go to BC, and they had the forest fires. And we ended up going to Alberta at the last minute. And then we went back to BC. So at one point we were 3 years ahead, and communities were asking, and if a community asked, say for 2018, it can be put, and it's publicized right away. So if you go back to your home communities, there's nothing saying that it can't be submitted. Same thing. We would actually, so it makes it that much easier to plan. But there's no policy per se, because if we followed a policy, we'd be stuck. Thank you.
Thanks, Arnold. Okay, now we have the 15 new nomination vacant executive and board positions. All right, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm now handing it over to Blaine, because we have some positions to fill.
So we find ourselves in a unique situation where we have our entire, Richard, want to thank him first and foremost for serving a full 3-year term as the hardest working board executive secretary treasurer. We did have our president had to step away from APAC, so that was Leon Smallwood. He did a tremendous amount of work. And then our vice president had a transition in the Atlantic Association. So John Tiny Primo has stepped away, but also stepped away from his vice president term. And so we just, as ducks line up, we have 3 vacant positions. The first one being the one that came up is the Secretary Treasurer, which was a natural expiration. We do have a little bit of I don't want to raise any alarms, and I'll just be very transparent about it. We have signing officers of the board. We have three board members and myself who are our signatories for basically our corporate documents and our banking. Corporate documents are easy to change. We do that through our accountant, through corporate filings. Bank, a little different. The bank lost our file and they're still looking for it, which we can't change our signatories until they find it. And this is all over, this has to do mostly with ISIS and the banking laws now. So they're looking for a file. I'm sure somebody just misfiled it. But Richard is one of our only signatories. So besides myself. So we just wanted to be very transparent about that.
There's no money with this arrangement. We just can't change the people who can sign the checks until they find them.
So the bank actually screwed up. It wasn't us. We didn't lose any file. The bank lost the file. And we were literally in Ottawa when they told us this. It was rather embarrassing for them. So we've been able to carry on business as normal with two signatories. So everything we do in any fact is double checked. There's always two people checking everything. So including signing checks. So anyway, I'm going to go to the Secretary Treasurer term and ask for nominations for Secretary Treasurer for a 3-year term. Now, with the caveat, I just want to throw this out, is that Saskatchewan would like to do a transition in their representative. George McDonald is looking to step up, and Richard is looking to start his slow glide to retirement. But we need to hang on to Richard for a little while until we get this banking sorted out. So we'll be asking that, or Georgie will be Richard's alternate as a board member, which they can name. But the formal rep will be Richard. So we may do a transition in the next, at the AGM next year or before that, if we can get this sorted out and then get that formal transition. So we'll call for nominations for Secretary Treasurer for 3-year term.
Silence. So, Richard?
You guys are good.
And only good paid.
Just so everybody gets their expenses.
Keep second. Danny, the seconder.
I'll second that.
Second call for nominations for Secretary Treasurer for a 3-year term. Third and final call for Secretary Treasurer for your term. Richard, do you accept your nomination?
Yes.
Everybody good? So the second position that we have is president for the balance of the existing term. So that will expire. It's a 2-year term. So first call for nominations for president for balance of the 2-year term.
I'd like to nominate Arnold Lazar.
Seconder. Steve Nolan. Second call for nominations for president. 2-year term. Third and final call for president. 2-year term. Arnold, do you accept your nomination? Thank you. By acclamation.
Where does that leave the position that he has right now?
Okay, so just a good question. Under our constitution and bylaws, the directors at large have a 2-year term. If they become an executive, it's automatically extended to 3 years if they start the full term or the balance of the existing term. So that would push Arnold's term for 2 more years. No, all of the directors have they are a director first, and then an executive of the board second. He only has he has 1 vote, but he is an executive of the board and the director. And then the last one is a 1-year term for vice president. So we'll call for nomination.
How many bring off?
And second,
Well, I'm gonna second that.
second call for nominations for vice president. Seconder. Scott. Third final call for vice president, 1-year term. Hearing none. Billy, do you accept your nomination?
Oh, thank you.
Alan, do you accept your term or nomination?
Yes.
Sorry, jumping to the audience. So, before I call for adjournment, I just want to reiterate one of the very special things that we're doing during the Nationals this year, which is the memorial for DJ McCurdy. We'll have the team at the banquet do some discussion about what they're doing. We actually have a surprise member of parliament that is going to be coming, who's also pushing forward the issue of mental health for first responders. That's Todd Doherty, who's been really, of course he's conservative, but he won't hold that against him. So anyway, thank you guys for the generous donations for the 50-50 yesterday. I hope the winner didn't have too much fun last night. We will be doing more draws again today. We'll announce when that is. So we raised $150 yesterday. Gave away a whole bunch of swag, and we'll be doing a ton of giveaways again today. We got some donations from some of the fire departments and from Fond du Lac and from the appellate or the Nunavut fire marshal. Sorry, anyway, and if you guys have any questions about what we're doing, and we've got a lot of the stickers and a lot of the magnets, feel free, take them home. Some of the associations have asked us for more of them. We'll get you them, and we will also provide you with the organization that we did the printing, so that if you want to order more for your regional associations, absolutely do. I think this is mental health is really a critical issue. We are, like everything else, way behind the 8 ball on this. So anyway, thank you for all the support on that, and I think this is for a good cause, and keep digging deep. We'll call for adjournment of the 2016 annual general meeting. Vince.
Questions first. Are we going to be driving the evolutions?
Yes. Yes. Oh, you got it. Yes, we'll adjourn, and then we'll go right into the drop of the evolutions. Another question?
No, sorry.
Okay. And we also, the AGM's over, we need to have a captain's meeting. So what we'll do is probably do the draw out in May. We're gonna have some food, the captain's meeting in here, that'd be fantastic.
For those that want to join that subcommittee, I got my business cards here. Want,